friends, welcome back to my channel. Also welcome if you are new. A little bit about me. My name is Lindsay. I am a wife and a mother to 6 children. The oldest is 7 and the youngest is 5-month-old twins. And so we live here on a small little farm in North Florida. My husband just got out of the military and we moved back to be with our family. And now we are just loving life here. We grew up in Florida, and so it's so great to be back, and we're just excited for what the future holds. We are new Orthodox Christians, so that's a new experience. Well, not experience, a new journey for us. Also, we are new to farming, so we're learning as we go from our family. And we also converted a shed into a tiny home, not tiny home. I mean, it's a tiny home to us, but it's a pretty decent size. But we have 1 bathroom, like a loft area for our kids to share, and then a master bedroom. So it is kind of a small space, but this video is going to be about all the preparing that we do to, help the times whenever we're busy or we're just on the go a lot and we want food that is wholesome and healthy and not fast food or takeout. So like this morning, I'm making waffles and eggs. So I'm going to make like a triple batch of it and store that in the refrigerator for them to eat whenever they want to eat it. So it's already ready. I don't have to worry about it. If they want something to eat and I don't feel like cooking or I don't have time, we'll just pull one of those waffles out and heat it up and it's good to go. Also, I like to add a lot of eggs in my pancake, my waffle mix. Pancake waffles, same thing. I like to add a lot of eggs in it and cinnamon. And I also use my sourdough discard in here as well. So I know this is a pretty basic, meal to start with, but there's so many different ways you can make waffles or pancakes, all the different add-ins that you can add. And so this is one of my go-to recipes for my kids. And I try to do it every other week. I try not to cook these every week because then it's not special and then they're eating a lot of sugar. So this is one of the things that I love to make for my kids, and I love to eat it as well. But I was going to say, if you have never tried cinnamon in your pancake batter or waffle batter, just try it and see how it goes. I promise, my family loves it so much, and I love the way it makes my house smell. It makes my house smell like Christmas. And every time I make them and my husband comes in, he's like, oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. I love knowing that he feels like at home and he loves the way that the cooking smells in our home. So I'm also going to be making some deviled eggs. Now, I know this bowl has very few eggs in it. And that's because after I made the eggs, my kids wanted to just come and eat the hard-boiled eggs. So I'll be making more, but just for showing you guys, I was going to show you my recipe. I don't really have a written down recipe. I like to make it, my own way, and I make it different almost every time. If I don't have pickle juice, I use vinegar. And I usually always have some kind of mustard or and avocado mayonnaise. And I use Lowry sea salt as well in my deviled eggs. So anyways, this is all the eggs that I had left. I think I boiled 18. So it's funny that I only had about 7 left. So finishing breakfast for this day, it's just eggs and waffles for the kids. And if you have a waffle maker, or if you don't, whatever, just put a plate underneath it. I usually do that. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. But it usually catches all the mess that gets on the counter. And I try not to do that. I try not to overfill it, but sometimes my kids just want to pour the mixture in and help me out, and they just, spill it. So if you do decide to make this and you have a waffle maker, put a plate under it or a cutting board so it doesn't get all over the counter. Yeah, you can have one. Is it good? My kids just recently started liking deviled eggs, so I'm really glad that they can enjoy these because they're really good for them. And right after we finish cooking, I'm gonna sit down and eat while the kids do some homeschool. And this is usually our routine every day, except on Fridays. I like to sit up here. We do our homeschool with the 3 older kiddos, and Naomi just runs around and plays, and then the babies are usually taking their, mid-morning nap at this time. So it's a perfect time for us to get some homeschooling done.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea.
Also on this day, I needed to give the twins a bath. And if you have watched a few of my videos before, you know that we only have one bathroom, which is fine. It's fine. It's only one thing for me to clean, one bathroom for me to clean, so I'm good with that. But we don't have a bathtub, so the unfortunate part about that is when you give your kids a bath, it has to be in the sink. So I have an incentive to clean my sink every other day. I literally scrub it as good as I can.
Love it till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare. And I wanna take you there. I would give it all away to do it all again. Make our love a story that would never end. Never thought I'd feel so alive, looking in your eyes. I just wanna love you till the day I die. Oh, oh, I just wanna love you right. Oh, oh, love you till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare. And I wanna take you there. If I'm gonna love somebody, I just wanna love you. If I'm gonna love somebody, I just wanna love you. If I'm gonna
It's funny, every time I give my babies a bath, all my other kids come and want to hold them and kiss them all over because they smell so good. It's funny because when you have babies, they just smell anytime they throw up or anything. It's like, great, now they stink again. And it's just frustrating, you know how it is. But I mean, we're all like that. We need baths, but it's adorable how my kids want to just come and kiss them and smell them because they're just clean now. But I love, 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 love. I cannot say it enough. I love brushing my baby's hair. It is the sweetest thing. And I will always cherish brushing their hair. It makes me want to cry just thinking about it because I remember brushing all of my baby's hair. And it's like they're so little. Like all of my babies had like a little bit of hair. She probably has had the most hair. Her or Naomi, my other, my 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old. And so it's just like, I love it. Even my babies that didn't have hardly any hair, I would still brush the few little straggly hair that they had. Little Miss Thea girl, she fell asleep. She just couldn't hang with us. This is the leftover waffles that we had, and so I'm just gonna keep them in a bag and put them in the fridge, and we'll eat those this week. The next up, we have some breakfast casserole that I'm gonna cook. This was so good. It was gone the first 30 minutes that I made it, partly because my husband and myself, we ate like most of it, because we're doing mostly carnivore still. And so most of the ingredients in this is a carnivore, meal. So I have made it like 2 times since then, and I just left the crescent rolls out. So it actually was full carnivore. But this meal was a hit with my kids. And so if you have young kids and they, are picky eaters, this right here was delicious. I have a son who is pretty picky about what he eats, but he tore this up and he asked for more. So this is a really good one. I would recommend. And instead of adding actual onions to it, because my kids don't like the texture of onions, but they like the flavor. So I like to add onion powder. But also you can make this and keep it in the fridge and then put it in the, you don't have to bake it in the oven until like you're ready to cook it. So that's what I like to do with my peppers right here. I like to get them, chop them up, freeze them, and that way I always have them. And it's not something like we eat all the time. So whenever I get some and I see them on sale, I'll cut them up and then freeze them so they're available anytime I want to use them like this. But what was I going to say? Oh, in a minute you're going to see I forgot to put the crescent rolls underneath the meat. So I'm going to take that meat out and put the crescent rolls on the bottom and then put the meat back on top of it. So this is a super easy one, and you can make like 2 or 3 of these in advance and keep them in your fridge. And I know that sounds like a lot, but my husband, he asked me, I've made this 2, maybe 3 times. I can't remember the exact amount of times. I've made this 2 or 3 times since, and he loves it. So if you have a husband who really likes this kind of food, you could make this and that could just be his breakfast in the morning. You don't even have to worry about or anything, or it could just be his lunch or dinner. So this is a super easy one. And I will say that having things like this, like just readily available and done, it really does take a lot of the pressure off of us as mothers, because no one just tells you, hey, like when you're growing up, hey, by the way, whenever you get married and have kids, you're going to be the only one that cooks. I mean, there are some guys that do cook. I understand that, but most guys, they don't cook because they do the manly things. And I'm not saying it's not manly to cook, but most guys just don't know how to cook, and that's fine. And a lot of us women don't know how to cook either. So it's a learning experience for us all, but it takes a lot of the pressure off of us as mothers if we have something prepared already and we don't have to just think about it. So this is one of those meals where I try to have every ingredient at all times in my fridge in case, I'm like, I need something quick and hearty and healthy. This is one of the things that I go to. So I always try to have sausage in my freezer if I don't have it in the fridge. Cheese, I always have. Eggs, I always have. And then, you just put whatever add-ins that you want. You don't even have to put crescent rolls. So this is a super quick meal, guys, and you will love it. I hope your kids love it just as much as mine do. And you just bake it for 30 minutes at 350. So if you wanted to bake it the morning before you go somewhere, like if you kept it in your fridge all night, just pull it out of the oven. I've never done that, so I don't know if the glass would break from being cold going to hot. So that might be something that you would need to, watch out for. If you had an aluminum pan, then that would be fine, I'm sure. All right, friends, this is the other thing that I absolutely try to do every week. I try to have my muffin mix prepped and ready. So you'll see here on my little recipe card, the left side is for the dry ingredients, the right side is for the wet ingredients. And you don't have to add a cup of blueberries. You can add anything you want. You can add anything. It's just like a basic muffin recipe, but I always add cinnamon. Like I said before, my kids love cinnamon, and cinnamon goes with blueberries, cinnamon goes with banana, cinnamon goes with just chocolate chips, anything, cinnamon goes with it. So I try to add cinnamon to all of my pancake mix, waffle mixes, and muffin mixes. So this is another way. I'm going to double everything. I doubled it because when I make stuff, I might as well just make it make 2 batches of it, so we have it. It's not going to go to waste. We're going to eat it. And it saves me time in the long run. I don't have to redo it because it's already done. And so I like these little containers. I can link those below as well. And then if you don't have a dry erase marker, I would suggest getting one and just writing it on stuff, because this is so simple. You can write on here, then it wipes right off, or you wash it right off. So I know there's 2 times the muffin mix in here. And when I go to add the dry ingredients, I know I need to double those as well. And I'm going to keep the instructions right here with it. So whenever I go to make it, it's right here and I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to put this on the shelf. Super easy, guys. And I suggest, if you have a lot of kids and you go to church on Sundays, I would suggest start doing this in the morning. Saturday night, start doing this Saturday night. It really does make your day, your mornings, go by very, very smoothly. I also like to refill all of my containers that we use often throughout the week. So I'm going to refill my oatmeal and my flour. And so the 5-gallon buckets that I have right here are almost empty. And it's perfect timing because my Azure standard order should be here next week. So hopefully I have enough in here to get me through until then. But we usually always have to refill our oatmeal and our flour because I am starting making sourdough every day. I found a recipe and I'll have to share it with you guys. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's so good. And it's it never fails every time I make it. So I'm finally confident enough to share it with you. I didn't want to share a recipe with you guys that was kind of meh, but this one is really good. And it's, if I can do it, I think anyone can do it. If you have sourdough starter, you could figure this out. So that's what I'm going to be doing here is filling up these canisters. And you'll see on the table back here, we had this from a game night that we like to invite some family members over and people from our church. And so we have a game night here, usually on Fridays. And then I'm going to be making homemade taco seasoning. I like to have this also on hand because my husband loves taco seasoning in his ground beef. And so him being on carnivore, he likes to always have taco seasoning in his meat. And I like to use the dry erase marker. You see me lifting the jars up. I write how much I need to put. Here it says 4 teaspoons. So I'll put 4 teaspoons in the canister, and every single one of these has something written underneath, and that's just the amount because I don't remember every time how much I need to use. But if I have it written on here, I don't have to keep looking up the recipe, and it's just perfect and it stays on here. So when you're done cooking your ground beef, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of the seasoning to your ground beef. And you can add a little bit of water in there if you want as well. And that is the simple, easiest taco seasoning recipe that I have ever had. And it's delicious every time. Also, you see cayenne pepper. You don't have to add cayenne pepper if you don't like spice, but my husband likes the spice, so I add it. Okay guys, now this is what I wanted to share with you. If you have something like me, I don't know if it cannot just be me. Am I the only one who every night they want something sweet, like a dessert? I want to treat myself. And so I like to have things already made That way I'm not reaching for anything bad, which I try not to keep anything bad in my house anyways, but I'm the type of person, if it's something that I'm craving, I'll just go buy it. So I like to have something like this already made where it's not a temptation for me to eat store-bought junk. I mean, this is still not healthy, but it's healthier than getting something already packaged and tons of preservatives, tons of sugar. I'm controlling what I put in it. So I just call these mama's dates because they're usually just for me. Now, my kids will eat them, but my kids just like them plain. They'll just grab a date and take the pit out and eat it themselves. And this is one of the easiest ways to melt chocolate chips, is just put it in a microwave-proof container and put a little bit of coconut oil in there, and then just do 30-second intervals and stir it in between. And usually on the third time, it's perfect. It's perfect for pouring. My favorite way to make these is to get pretzels and crush them up and put them on top, and then some sliced almonds here. Though it is so good, and you could add sea salt if you wanted, but the pretzel gives it a little bit of salt. But you really could be creative and do whatever you want with this, but this is just my personal favorite way to make these. And guys, I'm telling you right now, if you make these, you will not be disappointed. They are delicious. And I like to store mine in the refrigerator because I like the chocolate when it's hard. So that's how I store mine. And honestly, they didn't last very long because everyone pitched in and ate some. It wasn't just me, but this whole tray was gone within 2 days. So I'll be making some more of that. I do try to make it at least once a week because they are so good and they're addicting. But the last thing I'm going to be making is some sweet potatoes for my babies. And this is a new food for them. So if they do not like the sweet potatoes, my other kids will eat them. And if you've never made your baby's food before, I would suggest it if you're trying to stick to a better grocery budget, because it's very economical to make your own. I think like one jar is like either 80 cents or $1, just depending on which kind you get. But it's not that difficult. The worst part about it is the time that it takes. So if you prepare ahead of time and get it done, then it's not a big deal at all.
This here is the difference between a male and a female.
Which one's the female?
This is the male. Male is always a more slender, pointed egg.
Mm-hmm.
It's cone-shaped, while the females
They're rounded.
are more like a traditional egg look.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a rooster and 2 hens.
Okay. Thanks for coming along with us today, guys. If you try out any of these recipes and you like them, let me know. Also, if you have any recipes that you like to make and meal prep for your family, let me know as well. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.